Hi, Matt with eTrailer. Today we're going to be talking about the Rhino Rack Roof Rack on our 2023 Chevrolet Traverse. Now this will be a great option if you're just looking for something that's going to be really easy to work with and is going to look pretty nice on top of your roof. So let's check it out. Now if you have any experience with this roof rack or if you plan to go with it after watching this video, let us know how you're liking it and what you're using it for on a daily basis, either in a comment or a review below. But what I like about this one is, like I said, it's going to have this nice finish to it. I think it matches the top of our roof pretty nicely. And then if you're someone who likes to take your roof rack off a lot, you don't want to stay up here full time because either you just don't like the look of it or you go through a lot of car washes, then this is going to take you really any time at all to take off. So today we're really just going to be focusing on a couple of things. We're going to be talking about some of the key features about this, how it's going to work. Then we'll talk about how it's going to interact with your Traverse, and then finally I'll show you how to install it. So this is going to come in two pieces today, and it is designed to work with raised rails. Now if you have a different style of roof, because a raised rail roof is going to be something that you can put your hand right underneath. If you can't do that with yours, you have a different one. It's either going to be a flush option where you can just grab onto the rail, or a naked roof option where you won't have any rail whatsoever. But if you do have those raised rails, these are going to be great because it only comes in two parts. You're going to have those 54-inch crossbars up top, and we're going to have that clamp beneath there. Now with the crossbar, I like these because they're going to be that aero style. It's going to be very aerodynamic, and it's going to have this T-channel up top. So let's say you got some clamp-on accessories that just won't wrap around here for some reason, or they're just too big. You can actually put your T-channel accessories on the very top of here so you won't take up any space beneath it. And here on the side, we're going to have this end cap, and this is where you're going to be able to access that T-channel. Now if you're not a big fan of people being able to access your type of gear, whether it be a ski carrier or anything like that, you can actually put a metal lock core at the very end of this to give you more security. And then at the very bottom, I actually like this clamp a lot, or this tower, because there's nothing really to it. A lot of times you'll take off the end cap of it or have some extra pieces. What's nice about this is it's just going to be pretty much one solid surface, so I just think it looks better on top of our roof. And speaking of those towers, let's take a closer look at how it's really working with our roof today. So right now we're getting a pretty great fit. There's really not any gaps underneath here, and that's what you want with a tower or any type of fitment on top of your roof. So that's really what's putting it above some of the other fits I've seen so far. Now when it comes to how it's going to sit on top of your roof or how much space it's adding, if I go from the roof itself to the top of the crossbar, it's going to be a little bit over 3 inches. But of course, we should probably go from the rails because that's the highest point on our roof, and that's going to be a little bit over 1.5 inches. So these are actually pretty low profile compared to other options I've seen around. Well, let's see what's the space underneath. So underneath this, well, we're not going to have too much. So this is going to be just slightly over 2 inches. So if you have any really large and bulky clamps, then they might get in the way of your roof, especially if you do have a sunroof. If that's the case, I would recommend using the T-channel up top. Now, this type of T-channel does have the weather strips that you'll have to cut down the size and put back into place once you're done. But it is definitely nice to still have that option. And when it comes to what our crossbar spread is going to be, it's really going to be up to you since we do have a raised rail option. And we have a lot of space to work with, so most gears should be fine with these. Now when it comes to how much you can put up there, that's really going to be determined by your roof because these are going to be rated pretty well. And what I'd actually do is find out what your roof is rated for and then go from the lowest rated component just so you don't damage anything. Now in my opinion, I think this is a solid option if you're looking for something a little bit more low profile. Typically, I would recommend the Thule roof rack. I'm a big fan of that one because it is slightly easier to work with. I actually kind of like the look of it a little bit more than this, but if you need to save height, especially if your garage is pretty low, you're going through a lot of low clearance areas, then this might be the better one for you. And when it comes to that installation, there's not too much to it, but if you are curious to see it, just stay tuned, we'll walk you through it. So to start off the installation, I like to lay everything out. So right now I'm going to have my crossbar in front of me. We're going to have 2 towers, and then we're going to have the Allen key to tighten it down, and then the key to take off the end caps. I also recommend grabbing a measuring tape just to make sure everything's even. You also probably noticed I already have my front crossbar installed. It's going to be the same process for either one of them. We're just going to begin with flipping over our crossbar. We're going to grab our blue key and remove that end cap. There will be a little circle right here. We'll feed in there, turn, and come right off. And then we want to grab our tower. It's going to have these little blocks on it. We're going to line up those blocks with that channel of our crossbar, push it right into place. If you're finding there's a lot of resistance, try moving it in and out. It should kind of wiggle its way in. Once that's on, then we're going to repeat that on the other side. And now we can grab it and put it on top of our roof. We're just going to line up the opening of our crossbars, or our towers, with the rails on our roof. Just roughly putting it in place. And once it's up there, then we can make our adjustments as needed. And to make those adjustments, what we're going to do is square off this crossbar, make sure it's even on both ends. So to do that, we're going to find a point that's going to be the same on your roof on either side. I have to use this little section here where we have this crease, and go to the end of the tower. Make sure that number is going to be the same on the other side, and then we can check our overhang. To do that, you're just going to push this against the end of your crossbar, and then also against the end of your tower too. Get that measurement, make sure it's the same on both sides. And once you get the other crossbar up on your roof, what we're going to do is just make sure it's going to be a crossbar spread that's going to work for you. So what I'm going to do is go to the front of one and go to the front of another. Make sure that measurement is going to be good. If it's not, then just adjust one of them, typically the one that is already loosened up. Push it a little bit further away or a little bit more inwards to match what spread you need for your gear. When this is in a good spot, we're going to find this little bolt in this channel right here. We're going to grab that Allen key and we're going to tighten this down some. Now, you don't want to do this all the way quite yet. You just want to have a little bit of resistance on one side. Then we'll go over to the other side and just go back and forth until this is all the way tightened down. The reason why I'm going to go back and forth is because if I tighten it too much on one side, it's going to give us an uneven fit. And to make sure you are tightened all the way down, we're just going to grab our Allen key, and there's actually going to be a handle at the very end of it. Sometimes that handle will come off, but if you turn that some, you should eventually hear a click. And once it clicks, just make sure it goes off a couple times. You'll be good to go. You're just going to grab your end cap, put that back on all sides, and grab the little blue key that comes with it and put it in the lock position. At this point, I have to give it a good shake test. Make sure it's not going to go anywhere. And if it feels pretty good, then you can take it out for a ride with your gear up on top of it. But that was just a look at some of the features and the installation of the Rhino Rack Roof Rack on our 2023 Chevrolet Traverse. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.